This is KGW News at Sunrise.
She was just telling me, she said, I had to jump out. I woke up, I just had to jump out. My cat's dying, I couldn't get my cat.
Investigators now say a fire that displaced several people last weekend was intentionally set. The charges the suspect now faces that include animal abuse.
Also this morning, a local arcade owner says he caught a couple on camera stealing from his business. He also says they've done it 40 times, and so far they're getting away with it.
They walk away with $13, but cause, $600-700 in damage.
We have more on this story coming up here in just a few minutes.
Plus, an eco-terrorist is finally sentenced more than 2 decades after committing crimes in Oregon and then escaping to Cuba.
It is 5 a.m. on a Thursday morning. We are almost to Friday, almost there, chugging along. Thank you so much for waking up with us. We appreciate that you're here. Rod, it was much drier this morning than earlier this week.
And by the way, don't get too excited about Friday. It really looks like it's going to be a mess. Not to put a downer in the situation. But here we go. Tracking this elongated plume of moisture, what's called an atmospheric river. That's going to be channeling into our area all day tomorrow and tomorrow overnight. We're talking about, I think, at least 2 inches of rain for Portland. So more on that coming up. Christine mentioned it's dry out there. Yes, it is. We have cloudy skies. 40 in Tiger. Most of us are sitting somewhere around 40. It's cooler in Happy Valley. It's 37 out in Forest Grove. Sheridan looks like the cool spot on this particular map, down to 33 degrees. So kind of a mix of 30s to about 40. At the bus stop, here we go. Should be dry during the school day today. 38 degrees out the door on average, 44 at noon. Kids get out of school will be in the upper 40s. It looks like rain becomes possible in Portland somewhere in that 4 o'clock hour today. We will be looking at rain tonight. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Rod. Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler's plan to tackle homelessness is back in front of the City Council today. The first meeting last week lasted about 7 hours, with almost 200 people signing up to speak. As it stands, the proposal would create 3 large city-approved camps called campuses, and it would also speed up efforts to build affordable housing. A ban on unsanctioned homeless camps would be phased in over 18 months. Now, the meeting today will include public testimony, and it's also possible City Council could vote on resolutions. That meeting starts at 2 o'clock, and the deadline for people to sign up on the city's website to testify is 1 p.m. Meantime, today the Vancouver City Council will be reviewing public comments and making recommendations on the city's 3rd Safe Stay location. Safe Stay communities are for people who are experiencing homelessness. It would be on West 11th Street downtown, and that's a good spot, the city says, because it's close to homeless communities and public transportation. That meeting starts at 6:30. Again, we'll let you know what happens.
Also this morning, some new developments in a devastating fire that burned through 10 apartments west of Portland.
Yeah, 8 people wound up in the hospital. KGW's Alma McCarty has the latest from investigators who now say this fire was intentionally set.
Fire investigators with Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue combed through piles of ash and other debris after a Saturday morning fire ripped through apartments off Southwest Barnes Road. Days later, Washington County deputies moved to charge a 51-year-old woman with arson.
Ultimately, it was determined that this fire was intentionally set.
Those who saw the flames and rushed to report the fire, like neighbor Shayla Rogers, called it traumatic. She spoke with one of the victims before police and fire got there.
She was just telling me, she said, I had to jump out. I woke up, I just had to jump out. My cat's dying, I couldn't get my cat.
Rogers said she first awoke to a loud noise and the glow of flames from across the parking lot.
It was just crazy, how fast it spread. Because even from the second of hearing the boom and looking, it was bad, but within minutes it was worse. It was horrible.
Deputies arrived first, not long after 3 a.m., rescuing 7 people and evacuating several more from inside as fire crews battled the flames. Officials said 8 people were hurt, some from the blaze, others from jumping from the second floor.
We had 8 people transported to the hospital, dozens more displaced. Property was destroyed, pets were lost, and people's sense of security was also taken.
Wendy K. Southam was arrested and charged Wednesday for allegedly setting the fire. Records show the suspect lived in the building at some point, but it's not clear if she still does. She's currently behind bars in the Washington County Detention Center.
As with a lot of ongoing investigations, we are seeking information from the public all the time. So any piece of information that someone might have, big or small, we'd encourage them to call us, please, and let us know what's going on, and they can speak to detectives.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
This is a GoFundMe created for one of the victims. The description says a woman named Haley couldn't save her pets and lost them in the fire. Her friends created this page yesterday. The woman accused of starting the fire was booked on several charges, including first-degree arson and second-degree animal abuse.
After more than 2 decades, a man was finally sentenced for his acts of eco-terrorism in Oregon. Joseph Dibby admitted to being part of a group that set fire to a wild horse slaughterhouse in Central Oregon back in 1997, and for burning a Bureau of Land Management wild horse corral in California in 2001. Dibby was sentenced on Tuesday. The delay was in part because he made a run for it and left the country before he could be indicted. In 2018, Cuban authorities brought him back to the States. A federal judge in Eugene sentenced Dibby to time served, which amounted to the nearly 2.5 years he spent in custody since his return to the U.S. His sentence is far less than some other defendants in the case.
Yeah, he's incredibly grateful and thankful he didn't go to jail anymore, on one hand. On the other hand, you know, there are consequences that emanate for something like this that stick with you for a long time.
So as part of the plea agreement, Dibby was ordered to serve 1,000 hours of community service and to pay a part of $1.3 million in restitution.
All right, let's take a look at some of this morning's other local headlines. We start in the Cully neighborhood of North Portland. A shooting there last night left one woman dead and injured another person. This is video from the scene on North Lombard late last night. It happened just a few blocks from Portland Community College. Police say they responded to reports of a shooting at about 8:30. The man who was injured was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. So far, no one has been arrested. Anyone with information is asked to contact Portland Police. A security guard for Rite Aid is charged with raping a woman after he accused her of shoplifting. Investigators say he may have done this to others as well. Daniel Casanelli was arraigned on Wednesday on charges that date back 7 years. The victim says she reported this incident right away. Right now, we're working to find out why it took so long to bring charges against him and to get the word out about the other victims. And last headline here, there is a $25 reward out for the thieves who stole $100,000 worth of tools and equipment. We need to get a correction on that reward. There's no way it is just $25. There is a $25 reward out is what it says, but we'll again correct that. This much we know for sure. Thieves stole $100,000 worth of tools and equipment from a construction site. Security video that we're looking at here shows a red pickup stop at the entrance Saturday afternoon near Northeast 12th in Alberta. That same vehicle returned 2 more times. It was during the 3rd visit that they made off with all the tools and the equipment, including, they say, every single tool on the site. Didn't mean to bring levity to that story, but we have it for you this morning.
Anybody with a crowbar and a lot of time and energy, you're going to get in anything you like.
Brazen break-ins are becoming the new norm. You just heard from the owner of an arcade rental business called Quarter World. It's just off Southeast Hawthorne. Philip Ragaway says crooks have hit 40 of the Portland bars that rent his games. The thieves really don't get away with much, but he says the damage they cause costs more than $1,000 to repair. And Quarter World is not the only target. The owner of a photo booth company called Chic says she caught the thieves on surveillance video a couple of times.
I have high-resolution pictures of them and video, so I pass out pictures of them to every bar I know, not just the ones that have my photo booths, and most people recognize them.
It's been kind of this nonstop where every 4 or 5 days we deal with another incident, and we have the video, we have the photos, we've ID'd the individual.
Despite this, both owners say they have not gotten very far with police. We did reach out to PPB, but we haven't heard back yet.
And hey, we want to give you a quick heads up this morning. Daylight saving ends this Sunday, which means we're going to be falling back an hour, and that will give us an extra hour of the day, or maybe an extra hour of sleep,
yes,
however you want to look at it. So don't forget the change come Monday morning, and maybe celebrate it Sunday night.
Always set the clocks back. I do, the ones that aren't automatic, before I go to bed on Saturday night, so then I'm all square on Sunday.
Are you telling me I'm going to have a 25-hour day on Saturday? Is that what this is all about? A 25-hour day, Rod?
Yeah, don't mess it up. It's a long one.
On Sunday. Saturday?
Well, you're right.
We officially changed the clocks at 2 a.m. Sunday.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Remember we got that whole discussion last year about why they picked 2 a.m.? I don't remember what the resolution to that discussion was.
But I remember we had a story.
Remember that.
Yes, we have some vague discussions all the time on the show.
I know we do.
What do you have, Rod?
Okay, so this hot off the press, as they say, the National Weather Service is just issuing a wind advisory. This is up and down the I-5 corridor. This is from noon tomorrow, we're talking Friday, noon tomorrow till 10 o'clock in the evening for southwest gusts to about 40. And probably the bigger story will be the rain. It looks like now the heaviest rain we're talking will be hitting our area from 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon through about the midnight hour. And all total, I still think it's absolutely likely we get more than 2 inches of rain falling just tomorrow.
Wow.
Okay, so all that's coming up for a Friday. Here's the setup, the atmospheric flow out in the Pacific. This is basically just an elongated plume of moisture. So basically underneath these clouds, it is all rain. And the way these atmospheric river patterns work is you have this elongated flow and it sets up and just starts feeding and channeling into the same areas. So it's going to channel into Washington, then drop and channel into our area. Again, the heaviest rain rates look to be setting up 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for Portland through about the midnight hour. Now, ahead of all of that, see the clouds kind of spilling down. There's a warm front out here. So we're going to warm up, but you have to get warmer to get that much rain. You have to get the dew points up to about 50, typically to get an inch of rain or more. That's the way it works. Snow levels tomorrow will go all the way to 8,000 feet and then fall back down on Saturday. Anyway, cloudy skies today, but for the valley, pretty much dry until 4 o'clock or later. Now, there will be rain. This is what, 12:30 this afternoon. There will be rain quickly moving in during the afternoon along the coast. And then maybe mid-afternoon, you start to get some rain up around Longview, Kelso, but I really think it's 4 or after the Portland or Salem we'll see anything. This initial batch of rain is the atmosphere warming up. There will be snow over the Cascades tonight, but the snow level will be rising. By tomorrow morning, the snow level is up to 6,000 feet. Here's Friday morning, solid rain, and this looks to be a completely rainy day. Here we are at 1 o'clock. Here we are at 5. Now see the yellow-orange. There's a heavier rain rate to stay with us through about midnight. Here we are at 10. I'm telling you, outdoor activities tomorrow night, high school football will be very difficult to get through. It's really going to be a driving rainstorm with the gusty winds. The front now looks like it drops through early. This is a.m. Saturday, 2 a.m., and that's dropping through. So by the time you wake up Saturday, it'll be a scattered shower day. 2 more maps to show you. This is one forecast model. It gives Portland 2 inches, and I think these numbers actually could be too low. Too low. Yeah. All right, here's a 7-day forecast. Change here, maybe some dry weather coming up Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. I am done. Mr. Carney is to my right.
I'm not done talking about you, though, Rod.
Oh, thank you.
Rod's winter outlook. It's been talked about a lot this week because it's so darn good and comprehensive, talking about the next several months of weather. Yesterday, Rod and I did a little Q&A about his winter outlook, and you can check that out right now on several of our digital channels, including the KGW YouTube page and KGW 8+.
Okay. Hey, in just about an hour, we'll get another check on the economy's health. The October inflation report is going to be giving us a general idea of the state of unemployment and economic productivity over the last month. Wall Street is set to open a little higher today after an active day yesterday because the markets rose after the Federal Reserve announced another interest rate hike. Then stocks fell when the chairman of the Fed said it's way too soon to talk about slowing their pace or pausing the hikes. That means rates may actually go higher than previously anticipated.
Well, this is the 6th time this year that the Fed has hiked interest rates. They went up another 0.75% yesterday. Later this morning on the Today Show, they're going to dig into the decades of dependence that American families have had on credit cards.
As inflation has been ballooning, more people are becoming dependent on credit. But look, United States is a credit nation. This is not a new story. This is something that has been accumulating for decades. The
Federal Reserve's long game is to bring inflation down, of course, but that hasn't kicked in yet. Coming up after sunrise on the Today Show, today's Smart Shopper series will give advice on what to do when it comes to your car, your house, and your investments.
Coming up next on Sunrise, a new installment of Driving Me Crazy. We're talking about that awkward moment when somebody else has the right of way, but they want you to go. It's a prime example of what not to do after the break.
Also, a reminder this morning about our KGW Great Toy Drive, which starts in just a few weeks. But today is the day to sign up your company or your local organization to help us collect toys this year. So we want to throw out a big thank you to PDX Muscle in Southwest Portland, a strong contributor, you might say, to this year's Toy Drive. They signed up to collect toys. You can do it as well. Just go to kgw.com/toy, and when you sign up, we'll send you the official Toy Drive collection kit.